Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. It is your host with the most, Griever, as always. How are you enjoying this festive time? I hope you enjoyed a great Christmas weekend, and for some of us, an entire week off between Christmas and New Year's. Isn't that fantastic? But to ring in 2023, we are going to make this video the 7 chapters, the 7 best chapters of 2022. Now, of course, when I say the 7 best chapters of 2022, there are a couple of stipulations and rules you guys can already guess. Number 1, it has to be things I've actually read, so this is a very biased list right out of the gate. Number 2, it is once again my personal opinion, though I will be bringing up, when I do series and talk about the chapter that I chose, I will be bringing up other chapters that were in the running but just didn't quite make the cut. Another stipulation, of course, I will be picking only 1 chapter per series just to get a little bit of diversity in there. So without further ado, why don't we jump right in to the 7 chapters of 2022, my personal opinion. Let's get right underway. Starting off, I feel like, once again, this could have been the top 6, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out, a quick honorable mention almost in the 7th spot, which was Food Wars Shokugeki no Sanji episode 6, or chapter 6, alright? Because, once again, I'm a huge fan of Food Wars. You guys already know this. I'm a huge fan. I own the entire series. Food Wars Shokugeki no Soma was a fantastic series, and I'm a really big fan. I'm a foodie, to use a, I guess, Twitter term or whatever they call it nowadays, an Instagram term. I'm a bit of a foodie. I love to cook, I love to eat, I love to try different things. So this, of course, is a match made in heaven. The art style of Soma mixed with, of course, Sanji being the cook of the Straw Hat Pirates of One Piece. Match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned. And I have enjoyed, and I did make reviews, though I did slack off on some of them, and at this point there's no way to really catch up. But I did make reviews when this first dropped, when this first came out, episode 1, 2, and 3 for Shokugeki no Sanji. And I really enjoyed these just little chapters, because you can honestly see these being cover serials, being implemented, being canon in the story. For the most part, most of these you can see actually happening, and this is no exception right here. Sanji back on the Byakuya, trying to impress, of course, head chef Zeph, trying to do that kind of idea, and then we get a peek into the future, into Sanji when he's about 44, 45, when he's Jorichiro Saiba, when he's the Azura demon himself. He's looking pretty studly. He's got the long locks. He's got the stubble. He's looking like a master chef. Pun in fucking intended. He's looking like Iron Chef, from the East Blue. The Iron Chef from the East Blue. So, even though once again he's not from the East Blue, but whatever. You guys get my point. Either way, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to that one because I really enjoyed that, and it is nice. It's nice to get a little bit of acknowledgement for these little one-shot chapters. They only come out once every 6 months to 12 months, but they're nice. I really enjoy them when they do these little specials, when they do these little crossover collaborations sort of idea. It's quite nice. So just a shout out there. That's chapter 7. If you don't want to count it, fine. It's the best 6 chapters, whatever, of 2022. But anyways. Moving on from that little one, let's go into the one that this will probably be a little controversial. I don't know if it'll be controversial, but we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super at number 6. So, Dragon Ball Super. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you meh, or do you even bother keeping up with it? Well, I do keep up with it, and though I'm not the hugest fan of certain ideas and certain plot lines and certain power-ups and yada yada yada, at the end of the day, there were a couple of good chapters for this year. I think so. I think we got quite a few decent they fight chapters. But there's 2 chapters in particular that I would acknowledge as, alright, that was a pretty good chapter. Chapter 87, the reveal of Black Frieza, of course. Black Frieza, just completely, after all the power-ups, after the Ultra Instinct, the Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct, and I'm going to go Super Saiyan 3, but not Super Saiyan 3, I'm going to go Ultra Ego Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, no eyebrow Vegeta style. Black Frieza shows up and just dwarfs him. He went into the hyperbolic time chamber on another dimension in another planet, and he spent 10 years. Not the one day is 1 year. He did 10 years. He did 10 days, or however the differences work. So, Chapter 87, huge can of worms, huge oh shit. And once again, Frieza feeling so superior. I'm not even gonna finish you off, you desolate monkeys. And all that jazz, right? All that racist condescension, landlord-esque superiority going to Frieza 101. But there's a chapter, that's the mention, there's a chapter above that one. And I think it's chapter 84, where Goku finally remembers his parents and learns of Saiyan pride and thinks about it, and he actually remembers from his time as a kid. We saw this in the Broly movie. Now, once again, the Broly movie is canon according to Akira Toriyama and all that stuff like that. Basically would have been the super arc had they not made the movie. That would have been the arc. We would have had a Broly arc, and pretty much we saw what happened, right? And Goku finally remembers it all the past stuff with Bardock and all that stuff. It was kind of nice. It was finally nice for him to recognize that he is a Saiyan, and he's sort of getting a little bit about Saiyan pride here and there. There's some comedic moments between Vegeta and Goku about this, but it's nice that Goku finally has some minuscule memories at best, but still a couple of small memories about his actual parents and what they did to try to, save them and stuff like that, right? So, even though the story has, of course, been going on for decades now, I just, as someone who grew up with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, it's really nice to finally get the whole, the full circle finally coming to a close. Goku knows who his dad was. He knows he was a Saiyan warrior. He remembers his mother's face for the first time. It's not necessarily the biggest tearjerker in the world, but it's just nice as a fan for so long to see that. So that's why I'm putting 84 over 87. But once again, if you want to think that 87 should be the top spot, I totally understand. Now, let's move on to spot number 5. Spot 5 I'm giving to Shumatsu no Valkyrie, also known as, of course, Record of Ragnarok. And even though this has not been the best year for that, we all know that Record of Ragnarok has been slowly disappointing the fan base consistently. In fact, entire groups have stopped translating it because it's just not hitting the way it used to. However, there was still a couple of chapters, a couple of contenders for the chapter for 2022 as far as Valkyrie is concerned. Now, granted, I did have to reread all the chapters of 2022 to even see if it's worth, having a spot on the list. But I did manage to find a few. Forgetting for a moment that what transpires after these chapters, let's go down the two that nearly made it. Chapter 59, Chin's backstory, with, of course, Chinese Brunhilde. That was a very long, some would argue too long, and the double backstories and yada yada, we all know the arguments, but as a chapter at the time, it was well paced, well written, and is arguably one of the best backstories, period. Most people would say that Jack the Ripper's backstory is the best one. Not here to deny that. But Chin, for all the faults of round 7, for all their faults, for round 7 being the weakest round, being the worst written round, for power scaling just goes out the window with that one. At the very least, Chapter 59 gave us a very three-dimensional character backstory for Chin. So Chapter 59 did make the cut at the very least. Then, well, the other contender for round 7, I should say, Chapter 62, Hades' backstory. It gives us more insight to Poseidon, an otherwise one-dimensional, everybody hates him, he's meant to be hated character. Now we get a little bit more of the form and why Poseidon is the way he is, and we see how Hades feels about brotherly love and brotherhood and all that fun jazz. So Once again, I feel like this chapter should have come far earlier, but chapter 62 was still good for giving us some greatness with Hades' backstory. Now, we are getting now currently in the current, spoiler ahead, in the current state of the manga, we are getting more Hades content in the future chapters now. In the last chapter, we are in a flashback zone with Beelzebub, who is now, of course, in round 8, and we are getting some more information maybe about Hades, but of course, Hades, design-wise, was beloved by the fan base from the get-go, and as a character, most of us really love him. Chapter 62 showcased us how powerful he truly is. Round 7 made him look like a bitch, but Chapter 62 made this man scary, made this man fearful, made this man look like, well, if he can do that, who the fuck is going to manage to kill this, Titan? Ironically, the Titan of the Greek pantheon. So, Chapter 62 gets, once again, the other honorable mention. So, we have the 2 backstories for round 7. I would argue, though, there is one chapter this year. Chapter 66 is the best chapter for Record of Ragnarok of 2022. The reason that is because not only do we get the Tesla reveal, and granted, even though I said forget what happens later, let's acknowledge that right now people are generally enjoying round 8. After a lot of people didn't like the later half of round 6, and nobody seems to like round 7, though I have had some commenters who actually enjoy round 7. Don't know how they do that, but, I suppose if I could have put a couple of nails in my head, I might be able, give myself a couple of lobotomies, I might be able to enjoy round 7 too. But suffice it to say, the majority of people have not been happy with the state, but the fan base that have stuck around so far have been enjoying round 8. So Tesla's reveal, character design, his introduction, and now knowing that round 8 has so far been pretty good, this was the start of us climbing out of that hole, that pitfall we were in as Shimatsu no Valkyrie fans, and coming back. Not only that, we get a really nice reveal, both with Beelzebub taking up Hades' staff, the Skull Staff, to go and fight against Tesla, but a great moment from a character that everyone has liked in the background for so long, Hermes. We know that Hermes is powerful. We know he's probably second only to the actual brothers themselves, the main guys, Poseidon, Hades, and Zeus. And yeah, Adamus is in there, but whatever. He's a cyborg now, so he doesn't count. We finally get a moment with him, a character development moment, where he's been writing a hymn or a song or an ode to those that have fallen. Both human, here's the key thing, both the human and the gods alike. He's been writing odes and songs about them this entire time. Entire volumes dedicated to these brave fighters and warriors who have risked it all. And Beelzebub finds him, and does that stuff. I think that's one of the most bound to be important character moments and developments that we're going to get for the next couple of years regarding Hermes, but also just in general. It's going to lead to something more important later on. At the end of season 1, we got a filler scene that seems to connect to this. Brunhilde meets at the end, at the credits of the last episode of season 1, is seemingly meeting with Hermes in the shadows. Once again, leading into the fact that Hermes might be playing both sides of the field. For what purpose? For what do we know? Maybe he is similar to Heracles. Maybe he doesn't want them to fight. Maybe he wants peace. It's possible. There's a lot of theories going on about what this entails and what this means for Hermes as a character. He's an enigma, at the very least. And now we're getting a little more insight into his character. Granted, it gets more questions. This entire chapter, 66, gives us more questions than answers regarding that question about whose side is Hermes really on, what is his motivation, what does he care about. But it's still a great chapter for bringing those questions back up to the forefront. So I'm going to give it to chapter 66 of Shimatsu no Valkyrie for the best chapter of 2022 as far as that's concerned. Moving on to spot number 4. Alright, spot number 4 is going to be dedicated to Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega. Now, some of you might be thinking to yourself, wow. Really? Really? You think there's a chapter here that's spot number 4? You think there's a chapter? Omega is so toxic. Omega is this, Omega is that. No. You know how big this list is? I've got over half a dozen chapters worthy of being the best chapter of 2022 for Kengan Omega. So just hear me out for a moment, because, and we're going to go chronologically, we're going to go in order, and I'm going to see if you guys can guess, before I get to the end, which chapter am I going to pick. So, starting us off, chapter 142. We not only get Hatsumi and Mikazuchi back in full form, we get to see them once again, and we've been missing them this entire time. 142 chapters, you know, we haven't really seen them at all in the series, and they're finally here. They're back. Of course, 2 of my favorite characters, so big thing for me. Once again, this is a biased list. Not only that, we get Joji and, of course, Cosmos Master, whose name I still can't pronounce, completely torturing Zaiji and just being maniacal about it. And that is just awesome. Like, this chapter just hit all the notes. We see these badasses, 2 of the biggest badasses from the original manga, back in full form. We get Joji and Cosmos Master completely dog-walking this piece of shit character. And then Edio Kure saying, "You are too strong, Edward Wu, and that's why you lost." And I love it. A lot of people meme it. A lot of people make fun of it. But at the time, once again, going back to one of the rules that I break all the time anyways, before you read the rest of it, at the time, as far as when you read up to chapter 142, not 143, not 144, when you got to 142, this shit was badass. Edio coming out, "You're already dead," doing the fucking Fist of the North Star level shit to this Edward Wu motherfucker. So, that was pretty badass. 142 had a lot going for it. And then talking about the next chapter, 143, well, it's on the list as well. The scene, "I was the pawn, you fool." Amazing. Edio absolutely amazing in this chapter, completely subverting all expectations. That shot, that smug face of his, like, are you a fucking idiot? I was the pawn. These guys, no. They weren't sacrificial pawns. I'm the old geezer. I'm sacrificing myself. You're already dead. Once again, Fist of the North Star, done twice. Twice in 2 chapters. Gotta love it. Plus, the reason it's also on the list is that when we actually jump away from that fight, we get Mutaba. Mutaba is here and looking fucking swagger, even after nearly dying, even after getting his ass kicked, still looking like the pimp he is in his goddamn fedora and his 3-piece suit, looking stellar, looking like the stud that no man can ever match. And he's also teaming up with Oma. I mean, regardless, once again, forget everything that happens afterwards. This was peak shit. The whole Cure clan is fighting against Edward Wu, and now Mutaba is going to go team up with Oma to go lend a hand. At the time, the implication was hell fucking yes. So, great chapter choice there. Then 145, Ero dies. And it's the end of the arc. The end of an otherwise very controversial, very bad arc. I would argue the Purgatory versus Kengan Association is probably the worst arc between all of them. Not that they're really split up into arcs necessarily, but I would argue it's one of the worst parts, and what spawned a lot of the memes. It spawned a lot of the hate, a lot of the toxicity in the fan base, and a lot of the power scaling problems. So the reason 145 is definitely on the list is not only did we get a really nice send-off for the original, the Fang of Metsudo and himself, and we got to see him fight all out even though he wasn't in his prime and yada yada yada. It was really nice to see that, plus the end of the arguably worst part of Kengan, both series combined. So sort of a, phew, finally done with that shit. And also, and let's move on to bigger and better things. And also, a tyrant character finally bites the dust. And it is a somber moment, so definitely got to give it to 145. 160 is only listed on here because the Berserker Bowl announcement, and that's the arc we're currently into. Though, once again, I'm sure you guys can guess 160 is just getting an honorable mention for starting off the new arc with the Berserker Bowl, but it's not making the cut. 166 gives us Oma stopping Ryuki from killing Chiba, and he thinks he can beat Oma. This is more, for me, once again, bias list, fan favorite Oma, of course, and it's setting up such a beatdown eventually, because not only did we see this man, like 165 at the end said, "What the fuck did you do, you son of a bitch?" We have Oma grabbing Ryuki by the fucking shirt and slamming him up against the wall and saying, "Listen here, you little bitch." And Ryuki doesn't take him seriously. He should. If this was Oma before he got mature, Oma would have kicked the shit out of him without question, just would have beat him down in that hallway right then and there. Left him beaten and bloody. But fact of the matter is, Oma has matured. Oma has transcended beyond such animalistic, instincts. And fact of the matter is that this 166 here is just the fact that Oma jumps into the match just to completely stop Ryuki, proving that he can do it on the fly, jumping out of a fucking crowd, and stops him doing a killer move, and just completely, I'm sorry, Ryuki, you are not Oma. And the fact of the matter is that he's talking such smack, and it's just like, we all know, even Oma haters, even people that don't like that Oma's back in the series and isn't dead, and people who actually like Ryuki, I don't know who they are, nobody thinks that Ryuki can take Oma. Oma would absolutely destroy this man. It would be a joke. It would be an absolute joke of a fight. So 166 is on here purely because I like shitting on Ryuki and up in the Oma stocks. So, yeah. 169 is also on this list because that was not my secretary. The whole subversion thing. I kind of like that. I kind of like the whole, holy shit, where were you on this date, blah, blah, blah. Oh shit, all the reveals and all this stuff. Like, they really have infiltrated. It shows that the Worm organization is actually incredibly versatile, incredibly deadly, and very clearly well equipped to being in the underground. They're a league ahead of even the underground fighting ring. They know how to infiltrate. They're a fantastic spy organization, and they're clearly doing it very well. Subterfuge and theatricality, as Liam Neeson once said, theatricality and deception. So 169 gets it for that alone. Then of course we also get Shen Wulong shows up at the start of the actual Berserker Bowl, and it's like, and we all know how fantastic Jackie Lee is. Shen Wulong himself. He's such a great character already, just sitting on the sidelines. So we're all happy there. 173, of course, is where we solidify Jackie goddamn Lee. Though it's not until chapter 178, which is also on the list, chapter 178, where Jackie Lee finally introduces himself as Jackie motherfucking Lee. 173 is where we get the Beer Buddy episode. It is peak. It's absolutely peak. Uncle Joji shows up. Jackie Lee is there. They look. Yamagohan, do you want to share a beer? Yes, I do. Who's this? Who's that? Who? Cheers, mate. They have a brother. They have a silent. We're beer buddies for life, aren't we, Uncle Joji? Yes, we are, Jackie Lee. And it's fan-fucking-tastic. 173. And then, of course, 186 had to be on the list. Rahito, the Dark Horse, beating Xiao Pang. And not only did he beat Mark Myers, which we all knew that was going to happen, but the fact that Rahito has finally reached this level, he can't lose all the time. They've been setting this up for the longest time. He's one of the oldest characters in Kengan, and finally it's time. Unlike the Yamchas and the Tiens and the Krillins, who finally stopped being relevant, Rahito is done being irrelevant, done being the joke, done being power scaled into the C and D tier. It's time for him to strut his stuff and showcase that he has been evolving alongside everybody else. So 186 also makes the list. Now, I know that was a lot of chapters to go over. Which chapter do you think I chose? Well, it was a very tough decision. I really wanted to choose chapter 173. The Beer Buddy episode was just fan-fucking-tastic. And 186 nearly had it with Rahito the Dark Horse of the Berserker Book Tournament, which, by the way, he's going to win the whole thing. Calling it now. I have to give it to, though, 145. For two key reasons. Edio has been here since the beginning of Asoro. The Fang was noted to us way back when. The Fang was the title. The Fang was the one to beat. The Fang is the title. Is the fighter. And we were taught that the entire time. And to see the original Fang finally bite the dust was a very sombering moment and stuff, and it meant that some of the old guard is finally passing on and we're moving on and stuff. I thought it was a very good show, especially his dying scene was very emotional, it was very well done, and also, on another note, it ended the worst arc. It was the ending chapter, I would argue, of the KVP, and KVP was not very good. So the fact of the matter is, not only do we get the ending fight, and we get Edio's death scene and all that such, then we also ended a very bad arc. So we can move on to what is now a far better arc. Even though this arc has its problem, the Berserker Bowl arc has its problems, it's far and away superior to KVP. So that's why 145 just makes it, though, once again, 173 and 186 were very, very close. Now, with all that out of the way, let's move on to the third spot. Spot number 3. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. So let's choose. What series do you guys think is in spot number 3? Well, I'll give you a hint. No, I'll just straight up tell you. It is Jujutsu Kaisen. But which chapter? There's a lot of chapters to choose from. 173, Yuta enters the Sundai colony and showcases it by completely destroying a stalemate between 4 very powerful sorcerers. 180, Yuta versus the Ryu conclusion. Big chapter. A lot of people really enjoyed it. 185, one of my personal favorites, the Panda Inner Story, which I feel so bad for. Probably the biggest tearjerker of JJK all year was the Panda Inner Story. Whether it really happened, whether it's supposed to be a metaphor of what's actually happening inside his mind or what have you, it was still very, very sad, and there was a lot there. Plus, Hikari versus Kashimo also begins at the end of that chapter, so a big double whammy there. 188, Hikari just cannot be stopped. Hikari just strutting his stuff all over this place. Everyone loves Hikari, and we're finally seeing realistically why, when Yuta said when the man's on a roll, he's just as strong or stronger than Yuta is. So, definitely taken into consideration there with 188. 195 is, once again, another personal one. The Katana Old Man. Mr. Katana! And yes, I'm going to call him that. I am not calling him by his name. I know his name. I do. I just choose to ignore it because Katana is such a better name. So, Katana hits a curse he cannot fucking see because he's such a man. He picks up this goddamn Toji-esque demon blade of fucking Tetsaiga motherfucker, and he just wham! And Noya, Curse Noya is like in Digimon form, is like, what the fuck? This old man can see me? He's like, fuck no, I can't see you. I don't even know where you are. I can still hit you though, motherfucker. Like, it's just, it was so cool. It was so badass. I want to see more of this goddamn old man. 196, of course, is the Maki power-up through the sumo, and of course, if you guys actually have been checking out my reviews, you know I was goddamn right about this. Everyone said that the sumo thing happened in one match, and then she randomly got a power-up. I said, no. Time and space is distorted when you use a domain. That has already been explained to us. It was already a fact before. This confirms it, and it was confirmed in the following chapter after this. But in chapter 200, or in chapter 196, Maki gets to fully understand what it is to just let go, and you're holding on too tight. Sometimes you gotta give a little to get a little, you know what I mean? And it was a beautiful chapter. I loved it. I talked extensively about the reasons why this chapter was so fantastic for Maki as a power-up. It's not an ass pull. Maki got powered up because, once again, space and time was distorted. She just lost herself, just forgot about all the worries and the stress, and she just sumo after sumo match after sumo match and just forgot about everything. And it worked. It was beautiful. It worked. It was not an ass pull power up. It was fantastic. 196, definitely in the running. And the final chapter, a lot of people are going to be surprised I would put this chapter on here. I'm doing the latest chapter, chapter 208. Assuming that this is the latest chapter and there's not a chapter that comes out on Friday. But anyways, point of the matter is, as of the recording of this video on December 27th, this is the chapter 208. Big deal. Huge deal. Yuki died. For all intents and purposes. A lot of people got some theories about star plasma vessels, Tengen, etc., etc. But from what we understand, Yuki died subverting expectations. Everyone said she can't die before we see a domain and blah, 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 blah. No, sir. We don't need that. Plus, she did the most powerful technique, bar none. Fuck Hollow Purple. This is the most powerful technique we have seen in the series to date. This is a fact as of chapter 208. Nothing that Yuta has done, nothing that Gojo has done, nothing that Sukuna has done, nothing that Kenjaku has done. Nothing compares to this fuck off black hole. She actually created a black hole. Fucking fantastic. Kenjaku even mentions that had she not been trying her best to hold back, that this was planetary. So, there you go. Fantastic. Plus, at the beginning of the chapter, fantastic Chozo character development. And the reason it's got to be on here is because, once again, as I said in the review multiple times, I didn't like Chozo when he first showed up. And he has grown on me over time. Generally speaking, it's more impressive to me, or at least maybe I'm just more influenced, or I am more reactive to when a character that I generally either don't like or don't give a shit about ends up turns me into a fan, and then I actually feel for the character. That's much harder to do than when you start out liking a character and that character gets character development, right? It's much more difficult to take a character that you initially dislike and then actually start to care about and give a shit about. The way Chozo has been written across these chapters ever since he was introduced has been nothing short of just really good. Even fantastic. I will even use the word fantastic. It's been great. So 208 needs to be on this list. Now, what chapter am I going to choose, though, for the third spot? A lot of heavy hitters here. A lot of heavy hitters. But we're going to go with the first chapter I mentioned. Chapter 173, Yuta Okotsu enters the Sundai colony. That was an entrance. That was a goddamn entrance. We've been doing the Tokyo colony this whole time. Megumi versus Reggie just finished, right? And we already had some greatness with Higuruma versus Yuji. And we're seeing all the diversity and all the holy crap. Look at all these different curse techniques. Look at airplane hair people and all this crazy stuff going on. And Reggie with all this different receipt tags and Mr. I take out my eyeball and my boogers and I create bombs out of them. Like, it was all over the place. And then we're told that, yeah, Tokyo colony. Yeah, it's nothing compared to Sundai. Sundai has the heavy hitters. Sundai makes this look like a children's baseball game. And we're told, we get the introduction of the 4 tyrants that rule the Sundai colony, that are in a stalemate, a stale lock, because they cannot one-up each other without having the other two basically take advantage of the situation. Hype up, Sundai. These 4 emperors, 4 strong sorcerers. At the end of the chapter, Yuta just walks up and slaughters one. End of chapter. 173 had the most goddamn swag. I'm sorry. 173. All these other chapters are fire. They're fantastic chapters. but 173 made it. I'm sorry, 173. Once again, this is my list. Make your own goddamn list. But 173 is the best chapter of 2022 as far as JJK is concerned. Moving on to the last two spots. Let's go for spot number 2. 2 of 2022. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. The number 1 spot and the number 2 spot could easily switch places right now. I'm doing this on the fly and just have to make a judgment call so I can finish the recording of this video. But just so we're aware, either one could have taken the number 1 spot. But we're going with One Piece for the second spot. We got to go with One Piece. Now, there was a heavy contention of chapters here. Some big, some small, some just based on the moments. But let's just go over them because we have a number of One Piece chapters. We have 1036, Zoro conquers Haki, defeats King, and as a Zoro fan, it was a big deal. We have 1042 with the bowler hat CP0 motherfucker getting in the way of the final clash, what we thought was going to be the final clash between Kaido and Luffy, and absolutely the devastation on Kaido's face, that double page spread, absolutely beautiful. 1044, Gear 5th. The Awakening was revealed as Gear 5th. We all knew there was a Gear 5th. Some people assumed it would be the Awakening. Some people assumed Gear 5th would be its own separate thing. But now we know the Awakening is Gear 5th, and it's the Toon Force. So, big thing there. 1049 or 1050 is the actual defeat of Kaido himself. Kaido is finally defeated. We knew he had to be defeated. I don't know anybody else who thought he didn't have to be. He had to be. He has to be kicked out of Wano permanently. It just had to happen, and it happened here, and it was fantastic. 1053, we get the bounties of Kid, Law, and Luffy at 3 billion. Why have millions when you can have billions? Why billion? 3 billion berry bounties for all 3 of them. Plus, we got the reveal of the new Yonko being Buggy, being Blackbeard, being Shanks, and being Monkey D. Luffy. Big deal. And Green Bull on the way. And once again, at the time, we didn't know Green Bull was such a bitch. Then 1054, we have Shanks revealing that he's after the One Piece. That he's going to go and claim the One Piece. Big moment, big deal. Big deal. 1055, we got the Pluton reveal. It is in Wano. We know that it's there. And once the borders come down, being basically destroys, Zunisha's supposed to, I guess, destroy the walls, because original Wano is down in the depths. Once it's destroyed, Pluton will, of course, be able to get out to the sea proper, and then that... But right now, Pluton is safely locked away due to the walls of Wano. Makes sense. It's a big thing. We got Shanks' massive hockey, the greatest hockey feat we have seen in the entire series. And he fucking said, Admiral Green and bitch, piss off. And it was fan-goddamn-tastic. Plus, we saw Green Bull is literally a little bitch. Green Bull is just... Like, who the hell made this dude an admiral? Sakazuki was scraping the bottom of the barrel with this shit. Especially since the monsters of the Straw Hat crew, regardless who you think is top dog or whatever, Sanji or Jinbei, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all 4 of them are there. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei, all casually sitting back being like, well, I guess we didn't really need to intervene. I mean, alright, good on Momo. Good job. Oh, we don't get to fight? Whatever. They are treating an admiral lightly as hell. Now, once again, it's one of the new admirals. It's probably a dude who should be vice admiral at best. Green Bull is nothing to write home about. So this was showcasing how powerful the power scaling has become and how powerful the main members of the Straw Hats, as far as power members, are now just... Admirals don't frighten them anymore. And it's like, and you don't fail to see why. 1055 did a lot of shit. Now, 1057 is on this list for one sole reason. It's the end of Wano. So I can finally stop hearing fucking naysayers bitch about Wano. For a lot of the fan base, 1057 is one of the best chapters because it ends Wano and they hated Wano. For me personally, it's not because I hated Wano. I see its faults. It was too long and there are problems. But I liked a lot of Wano. I reread Wano since. Really like Wano. I like it more than Whole Cake. I really do. Whole Cake has some great moments. Wano has better moments. And pacing-wise, week to week, Sanji baking the cake was way worse than anything Wano ever did. So, fact of the matter is, 1057 is on this list solely so that I can stop hearing people complain, when will Wano be over? When will Wano be over? Stop reading One Piece. That's my advice to you. But 1057 finally ended that argument. Stop hearing about it on Discord, on Reddit, on Twitter, on everywhere else. Fan-fucking-tastic. So 1057 was a big contender on this list. For the sole reason of a toxic-ass negative fan base. Now 1058, that's a big-ass chapter. The bounty reveals for the Straw Hats, all of them, including Luffy, though we already knew his. Plus, we get Crocodile and Mihawk and the Crossguard. We get Mihawk's bounty and Crocodile's new bounty. So the best villain in One Piece, get aside, Dofi fans, plus Mihawk. And everyone who said that Mihawk's bounty wouldn't be comparable to Shanks, like, what the fuck were you smoking? Like, I just don't know. I love when the naysayers get proven wrong, and where you can't find them. I can't find people that said that Mihawk wouldn't have a billion berry bounty. I can't find people that said he would have nowhere near more than 2 billion berry bounty. I can't find them. I can't find those people that I argued with for almost 10 years. You can't find them. It's craziness, isn't it? So, 1058, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. 1059's on here because Blackbeard Rayleigh, it was kind of cool, but let's be honest, 1058 is the winner of spot number 2. Out of all of these, we had some great contenders. The end of Wano, as I said. The 1055, a big one. 1053, another big one. 1044, Gear 5th reveal. Big deal. But 1058 gave us all the new bounties. We've been wanting new bounties forever. And we finally got some new bounties. Zoro is number 2. Jinbei is number 3. Luffy has 3 billion. He's now officially a Yonko, not this 5th Emperor crap. We got Mihawk's bounty. We got Crocodile's bounty. We got the Cross Guild, how that all came to be. We got Sanji at number 4. Robin nearly finally showcasing that they're scared to shit. She's nearly got a billion berry bounty. And apparently found out a lot more information that Luffy didn't care about and stuff. But 1058 was, I would argue, one of the best, at least one of the hypest chapters of 2022. Especially from One Piece. So, that's why he gets the number 2 spot. Now let's move on to number 1. Now, as I said before we reveal the number 1 spot, is that it could easily have been the One Piece chapter. It very easily could have been 1058 of One Piece. But, as hype as that chapter is, and as great as a lot of the chapters on this list were, for those of you who don't know, this chapter for the number 1 spot is going to be from Akatsuki no Yona, also known as Yona of the Dawn. And for those of you who don't know why I just did that, you better check out those goddamn reviews, because this is one of the best current running shoujo manga, period. And there are 3 contenders for the top chapter of Yona of the Dawn this year. 221, 223, and 224. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to just tell you right out of the gate. It's 223 takes the damn W for best chapter of 2022 for me personally. Now, here's why. Let's talk about the other 2 chapters first. 221 gave us Suwon's inner monologue, where finally the iron wall has been shattered. The mental block that he's created for himself. He cannot see Yona and Hawk as just pawns on the chessboard anymore. It's finally his mentality. He's finally reached that breaking point. It's shattered, and he can't think logically anymore. He's thinking with his heart, not his head. It's a fantastic character development moment for Suwon. It was a great moment and great chapter. And 224 gave us Hawk reunites with Yona, the dragons, gives the Senjutsu to Suwon. We get this great moment that, yes, technically I'm going to steal a little bit from the beginning of the next chapter 225, where Suwon acknowledges that, yeah, at the time his illness, the Crimson Dragon illness, was coming up into him, and he was feeling all the pain, and he was sweating, and he barely stand on his own 2 feet. But when Hawk presented him with the Senjutsu and then fucking collapsed on him, he acknowledges, I completely forgot the pain. I didn't feel it. I was just so worried. Like, I'm going to paraphrase here, but he was so worried about Hawk and seeing Hawk. Hawk's alive. Hawk's here. Hawk's okay. He's right here. He completely forgot about his own pain. I mean, this man is suffering basically from, like, chronic illness pain, and it was irrelevant at that moment. Big moments happening in 224. But I would argue 223 is better. And here's why. It's not just one moment. It's not just 2 moments. We got tons of great shit in 223. Ra-An and Hawk. Just to start off, let's sprinkle a little bit of goodness just to set the tone. Ra-An, a general from the other side, with Hawk, the Thunder Beast himself, with a budding respect as warriors, and his return to the battlefield. So there's this great moment where Ra-An and Hawk, of course, faced off each other last year. Of course, there was the flooding and the whole defending of the Earth Tribe's borders and all this stuff, right? And they gained mutual respect as warriors from each other. Now, Hawk claimed that he was part of the unit, but then he sees him. Ra-An acknowledges, like, you're alive. Like, I was, like, he was almost concerned. He was like, this man was a man of honor. This man was a man of pride. I'm sorry I had to use such deceitful tactics. And, of course, he got his ass kicked by the Emperor. The Emperor beat the ever-loving shit out of him for failing to, I don't know, win the day or whatever. And so Hawk even acknowledges that. He goes, I didn't give you those wounds, Ra-An. Who did that to you? And once again, and Ra-An is just thinking, he's alive, he's got my respect, all this stuff. This budding respect as, not comrades, because of course they're on opposite sides, but the admiration and the respect between these two generals, these two warriors, is just really nice to see. Ra-An's probably my favorite general on the South Kai tribe side. I initially, once again, didn't really care for him that much, but now, as of the following chapters, I swear he's my favorite one. Not design-wise, but character-wise, I think he's my favorite. And then we jump over to the fact that we also get his belief in Suwon. After it's revealed that, of course, he's a Koka Kingdom spy and yada yada yada, it's mentioned all about all the bullshit that, his father did, like, Yuhan, remember all the atrocities he committed in war and blah, 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 blah. And Hawk goes, yeah, he might have done that. Suwon didn't. And this is a big thing. Like, there's this whole monologue where I love this line where he says, well, I don't know about all that, but what I do know, and remember, before in 2021, when the kid was protecting, when the kid tried to steal back the Senjutsu for Hawk, the little, the 6-year-old boy, this same general said that he would cut the hand or the fingers off of any thief. That was the law of the South Kai, of the Kai tribe and stuff, the South Kai Kingdom. And Hawk throws that right back in this fucker's face and says, well, I don't know about all the atrocities his father might have committed, but I know that under Suwon's rules, no children's fingers are cut off. And it's like, slap, slap, bitch, you just been told. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, Hawk is cooking. He's not just cooking with propane and wood, he's cooking with fire. He's cooking 100%. He's cooking that shit at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. He's got it. Now, none of this, all of this is greatness, but none of it compares to what happens next. While they're fighting, out of the sky, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's one of the 4 fucking dragons. Pops right down in front of Hawk. Bloody, beaten, murdered probably about 19 times by this point because it's Zeno and he's immortal, but still not looking in the best way. Hawk goes to him. Zeno, is that you? Are you okay? It's like, oh, it's the Mister. And it's like, it's finally time. Zeno knows that the Mister's back and stuff. And it's like, oh, hell fucking yeah. And the guy who did it shows up. This top tier general. Remember, there's like supposed to be like 7 great generals of South Kai and stuff. And Hawk's treating most of them like, they're warriors, but they're nothing to the Thunder fucking Beast. And this guy supposedly is one of the strongest, one of the best. He shows up after fleeing Zeno this far, after murdering him probably multiple times. And yeah, Hawk takes one look at Zeno, barely makes eye contact with this fucker, and you like to think that these shoujo mangas, like, oh, we're not gonna show death, and the main characters can't actually kill anybody without the big emotional, fuck that, Glaive dead. Hawk straight up murders a bitch. Takes out the strongest, takes out the general of the whole army in one fell swoop, injured to shit, takes one look at Zeno. Remember, Zeno can heal. Remember, Zeno can't be killed. But that's not the point, and that's been established with the whole fire thing with Zeno before in previous arcs and stuff, is that it doesn't matter that Zeno can't be killed. The fact that someone hurt one of Hawk's brothers, one of Hawk's people, and he's just not having, it's like, oh, you did this. Well, he's my friend. Dead and done like yesterday's dinner. That was the best chapter. That was the best chapter of the year. I'm sorry. Not in anything that I've listed. Not in Valkyrie, not in Kengan, not in One Piece, not in any, in JJK, has anybody straight up, just the main character has walked up, not even known the guy's name, and straight up killed the main antagonist of the arc. And just with no, and next chapter in 224, dude's not getting up. Dude just got his head lopped off, pretty much. I'm assuming his head was lopped off. I don't know what happened, but he did. He's dead. D-E-A-D. Like, that didn't happen in any other chapters in 2022, where the main character just said, oh, so you killed my friend 28 times. Yeah, but he can heal. Now, as I was saying, oh, you're dead. Oh, well. Anyways, are you okay? You know, like, that shit was fucking fire. That was better than anything JJK did. That was better than anything One Piece did. I'm sorry. Might not be in his hype, but it's the best moment. So, I'm sorry. 223 of Yona had the best chapter leading up to this. It was so unexpected. We wanted it to happen. But at no point, no matter how great the villains, for example, in JJK are, or in One Piece, or in any of these series, you know, Luffy doesn't just go up to Dofi and one-shot him. He might punch him in the face or something, but he didn't even kill the Tenryou Bito he punched in the face. Great moment. Top 10 One Piece moments. But did he kill Charlos? No. That's my point. Very rarely does the main character ever just straight up one-shot and kill someone. And no question that they're dead. That happened, and that was like, whoa. This man pissed off. It added a sense of realism and an end of, and a sense of, yep, okay, polite applause from the peanut gallery, let's fucking go. So that's why I would argue that 223, once again, I'm probably not selling it the best. That's on me. But from my personal perspective, 223 had the most surprising development and one of the most hype. No matter what all the other series did, nothing did something like that. Like in One Piece, for example, we knew the end of Wano was happening. We knew Kaido would be defeated. We knew we were going to get new bounties. Not that any of these chapters weren't hype when we got them, but we knew they were coming. You know? So that's why Yona, I think, squeaks it out, because I don't think anybody expected the main character to literally lob off the head of a general in one fell swoop just because he felt like it. And just straight up, like, once again, these are shoujo and shonen. Generally speaking, the main cast do not murder people. And he just straight up. So, yeah. That's a nice note to end on for a happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Right? Right? So, those are my choices for 2022 best chapters of the year from my personal takes. Now, this is not every series I'm currently reading or anything like that. They're just the chapters when I was looking through the list. A couple of them, once again, I was going to drop Valkyrie. I wasn't going to add a Valkyrie chapter or a Record of Ragnarok chapter, but I did, once going through the 2022 chapters, I did find a few chapters that were worthy of mention, and hence they were brought up in the video. There are, of course, other series I do read, whether I review it on this channel or not. But none of the chapters really reached out to me and I said, yep, this is a chapter that definitely deserves a mention on the list. So that being said, that is the video. And what do you guys think? Let me know what your favorite, you could be top 5, top 3, top 10. Let me know what you guys think are the best chapters of the year. Let me know down in the comment section down below. And don't forget, once again, to like, comment, and subscribe as always. Fourth and most importantly, don't forget to drink, especially today, but also responsibly up until midnight, ladies and gentlemen. Be responsible with the drinking on this happy New Year's Eve. Let's ring in 2023. Let's hope that, other than the bad news of Ash Ketchum retiring, let's hope that 2023 brings us some great anime, some great manga, some even better chapters than we got this year. Let's hope 2023 is even better in the manga anime community. So here's to everyone. Hope you had a great year, for whatever it was, and we'll see you back here in 2023 in the next video. Looking forward to it. Know you guys are too. Once again, have a good one. Happy 2022 to everyone who survived it.